Hey, what's up everyone? It's Amber here from the Stellar Guitarist, and today we are going to be learning an iconic song from the 70s, Summer Breeze by Seals and Crofts. Now this is a late beginner to intermediate lesson, so if you are ready to stretch your skills and to add a little bit of magic to your playing, you're in the right place. So go grab your guitar, let's get into the lesson today. So we're going to start off this lesson by looking at the chords we need for the song. So the first chord we need is an E minor chord. The second chord we need is an A minor 7, so like a regular A minor with our ring finger lifted up off the strings. We also have a G major, E major, a regular D major, and an A major. So those are all the normal chord shapes we would need. We also have three rather interesting chords. We don't play them very often in songs. The first is a B minor 7. Now this is usually played as a bar chord and can be really uncomfortable. So I have an alternative for you today where we're just going to be playing sort of an open chord version of the B minor 7. And we're going to be playing our first finger in the second fret on the A string. Second finger is going to go in the second fret on the G. And our third finger is going to go into the second fret on the high E string. So they all have to kind of squeeze in there. And we strum from the A string down. The next chord shape we need is an A minor 7 over D. So if we go back and find that A minor chord, all we're going to be doing is keeping our first finger exactly where it is. We're going to take our middle finger and scooch it down to the G string, second fret. And then our pinky is going to play in the third fret on our high E string. And we can strum this from the A string down. And then the final chord we need is an A major 7 over B. So all we're going to be doing here is playing with all four fingers on the A string, the D string, the G, and the B string. Another option here would be to just use your first finger and bar over those four strings. Just don't hit the high E string. So there we have it. Those are the chords we need for the song. Let's move into the next section of the lesson. So a great place to start for today's tutorial would be with that intro. So the intro is going to sound something like this. And it's going to consist of just two chord shapes. So the first chord we need is an E minor chord. And the next chord we need is an A minor 7. So for this section of the song, I like to play my E minor using fingers 1 and 2, so that the second finger can be the pivot finger to the A minor chord. So just practice changing back and forth from that E minor to the A minor 7. So the start of the riff is going to require us to pick out the E string, the A string, and then we're going to strum from the D string down. So the rhythm is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. We switch to A minor and we give it a strum from the A string down. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Repeat. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So our rhythm is 1 and 2 and. So pick, pick, strum, strum. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Really iconic, it stands out, and people will be able to tell quite quickly what song you're playing if you can get that right. So spend some time here working on that intro, and we're going to then get into the first verse of the song. So the chords we're going to need for the first verse are an E major chord, to our G major, we have our D major chord next, and to our A chord. And the final two chords we need are an E to an A minor 7. So let's talk about the strumming pattern we're going to be using here. We're going to be using down, 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 up. So it's 1, 2, and a on each chord. Down, 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 up. So a quick demo of that first part of the verse is going to sound like this. Down, 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 up, G, D chord, and A. Now just stop there for a second. We're not going to look at the E and A minor 7 just yet. Let's first get those 4 chords right from the E chord. Down, 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 up, switch, D chord, and an A. And if we try some singing, 2, 3, 4. See the curtains, G in the window, D in the evening on an A chord. Now when we get to that E and A minor, we're going to be replicating the same rhythm from the intro, except we're not playing an E minor, we're playing an E major chord. So it's just that small change. So we're playing an E major chord instead of E minor. So we're going to do E string, A string, strum, switch to A minor 7, strum. So in total, the first part of the verse, see the curtains hanging in the windows in the evening on a Friday night. When we move on to the second part of the verse, it's exactly the same. The only difference is that final section where we just have an E in the brackets. Now this means that we're just going to be holding an E chord for that same rhythm. Pick, pick, strum, strum. So no changing to A minor 7 in that final section of the verse. So if I sing the words, it is going to sound like this. A little light is shining through the windows. Let me know everything's alright. So as straightforward as that. Hey Stellar Guitarists, so if you are enjoying my tutorial here today, then please can I ask you to go ahead and like this video and to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out in growing my channel over here on YouTube, and it allows me to know which songs my subscribers are wanting to learn. So thank you so much. Let's get back into the lesson today. Moving on into the chorus, we only have 3 chords, an A minor 7, switching to our B minor 7. We're going to go back to A minor 7, and then we have G major. So if we just try with one strum, summer breeze, switch, makes me feel fine, A minor 7, blowing through the jasmine in my G chord, 2, 3, 4. And the strumming pattern we have here is going to sound like this. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. So each chord is going to get 1 round of that pattern. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. We switch to B minor 7. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. Back to A minor 7. And to our G chord. So let's try put that all together without any breaks. It's going to sound like this. 2, 3, 4. A minor 7. Down, up, up, down, 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 up. B minor 7. A minor 7. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. G. And with some singing, 2, 3, 4. Summer breeze makes this leads us into the riff that is attached to that G major chord. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our first finger and we're going to place it into the 5th fret on the high E string. We're going to play that and slide it up into the 7th fret. So we're going to pick it in the 5th, slide it up to 7. That in itself is quite difficult, so practice that first. Once we've hit that 7th fret, we're going to take our second finger into 8, and then our pinky is going to go into 10. So far, we're sliding up from 5 to 8 to 10. Okay. We're going to go back to 8, back to 7. So far, so good. So we're sliding from 5 to 7 to 8 to 10 to 8 to 7. And then our middle finger is going to go onto the B string in the 8th fret. Now, if that slide is starting to get a little bit sore, and even for me it is, then what you can do is just land in that 7th fret and don't worry about any slides. Just play the 7th fret. So both will work really well. So that's with the slide, or without the slide. So it really depends on your skill level and what you're wanting to bring to the song. So let's try the chorus again, and we're going to add in the singing, the chords, the strumming pattern, and that riff that comes after the G chord. So here we go from the A minor 7, 2, 3, 4. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Repeats. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. So far we've looked at the intro, we've done the verse, we've just looked at the chorus, and next up we have the bridge. Now the bridge I like to teach in 2 different sections because the first half is going to sound different to the second half. So in the first half of the bridge, we are basically going to be playing 4 rounds of what we learned during the intro. So the intro was at E minor to A minor 7. And we do this 4 times. So that you should be able to do already if you've watched the intro section of this lesson. And so the next half of the bridge is when things are going to start getting a little bit more challenging when it comes to our chord transitions. We're going to be changing to an A minor 7 over D chord. So this is a chord that I explained during the chord section, so go back and watch that if you're unsure how to play an A minor 7 over D. So from here, we're going to be going to a B minor 7 chord. This we know from the chorus. We go back to A minor 7 over D, and we can use our middle finger as a pivot point. Back to B minor 7. And from here, we're going to be playing that A major 7 over B. So we're going to be squeezing all 4 fingers into the 2nd fret. If this is too difficult for you, then you can just play a regular A major. You can take your first finger and bar it over those strings. It really is up to you and where you're at on your journey as a guitarist. So if we look at that second half of the bridge, again, with 1 down strum, 2, 3, 4, A minor 7 over D, switch, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, B minor 7, 2, 3, 4, A minor 7 over D, over B. And if we're going to add a strumming pattern, we have down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. So it's the same strumming pattern that we used in the chorus. So let's try it, put that all together. 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. B minor 7. Switch. Back to B minor 7. And A major 7 over B. So that part is probably the most difficult section in the song, if I'm going to be completely honest. So take your time here, or just revert to playing one down strum on each of those chords. So let's try put the bridge together, starting on that E minor. 2, 3. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune. And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there, not a care in the world. Now, if you are new to my channel, I'd love to share that I have 2 incredible guitar courses for you to check out. The link is below this video. I have a beginner guitar course for those of you who are still new to playing the guitar and are wanting to work on your chord transitions and just getting a little bit more confident with your playing. And I also have a Let's Level Up guitar course, which is perfect for you if you are starting to explore the fretboard, you're wanting to learn more about power chords, bar chords, traverse picking, and more intermediate strumming patterns. So go check it out. The link is below this video, like I said, and I really hope to welcome you into one of my courses. So there's a quick demo of what we are going to be looking at today. I'm sure you recognize that from the intro as well as the instrumental section and outro of the song. So just a quick heads up, this is quite tricky to play, and if you are just starting out, then maybe not a good idea to jump into trying to do this right now. But if you are an intermediate player, then this should be something that you can pick up within a few days or weeks of good, solid practice. So let's look at what we're going to be playing one step at a time. So let's start off by placing our middle finger into the 9th fret on the G string. And what we're going to be doing here is something called hybrid picking. Okay? And what this means is our pick is going to play one of the strings and our middle finger is going to play the other string. So our pick is going to play the low E string, and our middle finger, which is free, is going to pick the G string. So that in itself is quite a difficult thing to get right. Of course, if you're not using a pick, this won't be something you'll need to worry about. You could just use your thumb and one of your other fingers, your index or your middle finger. But I like to play this riff using a pick. So I'll be doing hybrid picking for this opening section. Now you'll also notice that there is a slide into that 9th fret. So what I like to do is go back into my 7th fret, play each of those strings together and slide into the 9th. So it's really getting that same feel and vibe from the song. From here, we're going to put our first finger into the 8th fret on the B string, and our pinky will be on the 10th fret on the E string. If you don't want to do the slide, that's also fine. You can just start on the 9th fret. So 9th fret and the E string. First finger on 8. Pinky on 10. What comes next is we're going to slide our pinky back into the 7th fret. That's kind of going to be the anchor to connect us to the next shape. And then we're going to take our first finger and bar it over the D, the G, and the B string. And we're going to strum that. It's a beautiful jazzy sounding chord. So up to there. Okay, really practice that first. Don't try to go ahead until you can get this right. So we have the hybrid pick. Slide our pinky back into the 7th fret, create a bar with our first finger, and strum. From here, we're going to take our pinky off of the strings to play that 5th fret, which is part of the bar. Okay, so that's quite straightforward. From here, we're going to be going and taking our pinky into the 3rd fret on the high E string to play that 3rd fret. Now I know many of you are probably thinking, why on earth would I need to play with my pinky? It's like the weakest finger, right? Well, we're going to need all the other fingers to create that next chord shape. But don't worry about that just yet. Let's just get that first bar sounding relatively smooth. So back up to that 7th fret to slide into 9, 8, 10, pinky into 7, bar with our first finger, pinky comes off for 5, pinky goes back to 3rd fret. Okay, up to speed. One more time. The next bar, we have a very weird shape that we need to play. So let's go through one step at a time. Our middle finger is going to play the 2nd fret on the high E string. Our 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the B. And then our first finger is going to play the 2nd fret on the D string. And we strum from the D string down. That's quite a difficult change. I find that the hardest part of this riff. Going from that note with our pinky in the 3rd fret and forming that chord shape. So that is also a pressure point that you should practice. Right, next up we have an open E. So we can just lift our middle finger off the string. Our 3rd finger is already where it needs to be, in the 3rd fret on the B string. And our next chord shape is just an A minor 7. So that's straightforward. So if we just take that 2nd bar by itself, we're going to strum that strange chord shape, lift our middle finger up, play the 3rd fret on the B string, and then find that A minor 7 chord shape. Right, so let's put that all together from the start. Pinky. And we repeat it again. So in the next section of this lesson, we're going to do a full playthrough of the song where you can see how all these different parts fit together. So have your guitar ready, and I look forward to a full playthrough with you coming up next. A 1, 2, 3, 4. The curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. Little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. paper laying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune. And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there, not a care in the world. See the smile awaiting in the kitchen, food cooking and the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Okay everyone, so that's how you play Summer Breeze on the guitar. If you enjoyed the lesson, let me know in the comment section below. Also let me know if you'd like me to teach more songs from the 70s. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I'll see you in another Stellar Guitarist tutorial. Have a great day. Bye!